Well, welcome back to another coffee and a chat. And I do have my coffee here today. So I'm just going to, hopefully this won't be too long of a video, because I don't have a ton of time. I've missed 2 days. Yep, I have. And a lot of it's been that the Lord just simply had not given me anything to do a video for. And I don't want to just do a video for the sake of doing a video. And so I think I needed some rest. In fact, I know I needed some rest. And I'm needing to reevaluate some things in my life. So I figure on average, it takes about 2 hours out of my day to do a video. And I know it doesn't seem like I spend 2 hours on it, but trust me, with all the different things involved, it takes me about 2 hours. And that's 2 hours that I used to do other things. So I've kind of fallen behind on some stuff. And Marvin and I are redoing a lot of things with our home so that things are simpler and less cluttered and less wasted time needed to do frivolous things. I don't know. What this means is I'm also going to get the part that I need for my dishwasher so that my dishwasher works again. I haven't used it in years because it stopped working. And it's just a simple little part. Didn't know that before, but I know it now. And something so simple, I can do it. You unplug the old part, you plug in the new part, and you don't even have to pull the dishwasher out. It's down in the bottom of the dishwasher. So we're going to do that so that I can use that because more and more we have times. We have every few weeks we used to have one of our kids over for dinner, and now there's two of them, and we may have a third one joining us, and there might be two more, and so every 3 weeks we have a fairly large meal that's starting to take place. It creates a lot more dishes, and I cook more for the dinner when they come. Marvin always, thanks them for having come and tells them he would have starved to death if they weren't here because I don't feed him. But our son, he's the one that we started doing this with, and he likes to have sides with his dinner. So, and Marvin and I, a lot of times, you'll get a bowl of something. That's some concoction of whatever I've got thrown into a pot, and it comes out good. So, but we have this one bowl of something, and, but when our son comes in, we gotta, I gotta have some sides. I gotta have some choices for him. And so Marvin's always like, in fact, we used to do it every 4 weeks. And then Marvin's like, I think we should do this every 3 weeks. And I think it's just the way. So Marvin can get some extra food. Yeah. I think that was one of the first questions he asked me when we were talking, and he was, and kind of interest was growing between us, was, can you cook? This is very important in Marvin's life. In fact, he had to teach me how to fry chicken properly. We won't talk about that because that's a sensitive issue. But I can fry some mean chicken now, let me tell you what. And now I don't even have, my sister-in-law bought me this little electric fryer. And it just was so easy because I could, set it to a certain temperature. I knew what temperature to set it to. I knew exactly how long for the different cuts of chicken to fry it up just perfect. And Marvin likes a lot of fried chicken. So I've used that a lot till I have now burnt it up. So I don't have it anymore. So the last time I fried something, I had to do it on the stove in a Dutch oven, but it worked. I can do it. I'm going to fry some fries for dinner tonight too. So, because we're having hamburgers. Yeah, it's real fancy, but I got to have fries too because Marvin can't have a hamburger without fries. So anyway, enough about that. But I could use, it would benefit me to have that dishwasher. It would make some things easier on me and the dishes would get done. So, there's that. And we're rearranging some rooms and making them more conducive for, we've got a room that'll be conducive to just sit and talk. And then we've got the room that has the TV in it. And, and we're setting up more bedrooms. And I don't know. Yeah. I've given up my sewing room and moved it into the office. This office is hilarious. It's a big room. It's what used to be my mom and dad's bedroom. And it serves as so many things. It even serves as a greenhouse and a library and a sewing room and the office. And I don't even know what, and storage, everything. This is where things come when they don't know where else to go. So yeah, anyway, working on that, simplifying my life. And yesterday, Marvin and I had to go look for some stuff. We need to replace our stove, and because the oven doesn't work, and don't think it's worth getting it fixed. It would be cheaper to buy another range. And so we priced some new ones. And then we went looking for some used ones, because we'll end up going used. I know we will. That's Marvin and I. And especially after I saw the price of the brand new. Oh. So anyway, so we were out doing that. And so we were up at Habitat for Humanity's Restore. And while we were there, they didn't have any ranges in. And so we decided just for fun to look at some furniture. And we found this couch that was like perfect. Because we like something that sits a little higher because we're older. It's a little harder to get up. And, and has a little firmness to them, but still cushy. And anyway, this couch, but it was way too much money, because we do need to get a couch, but they do it like every so many weeks. They lower the price, and you can see what it's going to be on any given date. So I just prayed over the couch that, Lord, if we're supposed to have this couch, then let nobody buy it until such and such a date when it's to a price that is doable, and and then save it for us. And so we'll see, because maybe that's not the right couch. But anyway, we had sat down on this couch just to sit and get a feel for it, right? And it was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what we need. And so this gentleman walked up to us, and he had a thick accent, and he had said something about, don't sit on it too long or they'll make you buy it or something like that. And we laughed, and he began to speak to us. And anyway, it turns out he's lived here for 45 years, but he came from Turkey. And his accent is very thick. I'm sure he still speaks Turkish at home, and his English not the greatest, and yet God helped us to understand him. And anyway, it ended up being this God thing, and he did most of the talking, and we just listened. And then there were times when we were able, Marvin would say something or I would say something. And we got to share with this guy actually our faith in Jesus Christ. This man is definitely, he knows so much. He does a lot of reading, and he's definitely searching for something. And he was like, I love Jesus too, because he was a good guy. And, he didn't come in trying to kill people. And all these other prophets, they always wanted to kill somebody. They had a sword on their waist or whatever. And, and it's like, but I love Jesus. And you may love him because you think he was a great guy, but I know so much more than that. And anyway, it just was this amazing time. I don't know how long we sat there and just visited with him. I was getting to a point where I thought, they're going to make us buy the couch because we basically have moved in. But it was so wonderful to just sit there and just let this moment that God put there be there. And whatever is going to be in it is going to be in it. I'm praying for this guy. I don't know if I'll ever see him again, but we had that probably, I bet you it was an hour that we listened to him and talked about different things. And it's funny because this man and I are like-minded all the way up to until you get to Jesus. That's the only thing that was missing. But his approach to life and health and all these things he was talking about, nutrition, and it was like, Marvin and I are like going, we're on the same page with you there. We understand. And it was, and he seemed to really enjoy the time, and I know we did. But it just drove home to me for Marvin and I don't know about you, but things I know that God's been dealing with me is just being available in those unexpected moments, and that we could just take that time until he was done. and just be there for that man and listen to him and talk with him. That was an important thing to do. And I began to realize that if I'm overscheduling myself and adding all these extra things, because I have a knack of doing that, then I'm not available. I'll have to be in a hurry. And I did have an appointment yesterday that I needed to keep, but it was still way off. This was in the morning and it was in the afternoon. Well, then we were trying to, we went to price the new ranges then, and we had to hurry a little more because of my appointment. But when we got home, we pulled in the driveway, and somebody else pulled in right, well, I would say right behind us, but actually we have a circular drive, and they pulled in front of us and blocked us, and it ended up some people we knew. And so they came in for a while. Now I had to make my appointment, and Marvin, sat and visited with them, but my house was so not ready for guests. And it was a real eye-opener for me, because God's told me, people are coming. You need to be ready. And I've not gotten everything done. I've not gotten that living room rearranged yet, because I have to fix one room so that I can rearrange the other room so I can get to that room. And I'm sure you understand that you have the same kind of struggles in your life, because everybody does, right? But I gotta have coffee before I continue the but. I was not ready, and it really bothered me. And so I'm like, okay, Lord, I get it, And I feel like he's saying, do you, Angie? Do you really? Because I've actually been talking to you about this since 2015. That's 9 years ago. Why are we, well, he has made things more clear here in the last year. Some of the things we're doing now are things that he just told us in this last year. But time is short. He keeps telling me that. Time is short, and things are going to happen a lot faster than what you think. You cannot dilly-dally and take your sweet time and think eventually you'll get to it. You need to do it now, because they're coming now. Okay, I hope I've got it. I hope that he's got through to me. I know I've got a lot more things done, and I've got a couple of things I need Marvin to do before I can do the next thing. And I think, I know he doesn't have time to do it today, and we've got the kids coming and everything. But tomorrow I'll run get the piece, and then if he'll, we've got to change some stuff out in one of the bedrooms, and if he'll install do the switch out that needs to be switched and everything, then I can do the next thing and get that room done and set up. And then our daughter's going to, that's coming tonight, she's going to stay a few days, and I think I'm going to be asking her thoughts on a couple of things too, that will help me know even more of what I need to do. So I felt that I should share this with you guys. I hope it's making some sense. A lot of times when I'm recording a video, it's like it feels like it's not making sense, but then when I watch it back, I'm like going, oh, yeah, no, wait, yeah, okay. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not as big a mess as I think I am, or maybe I'm delusional. I don't know. But anyway, I just felt the need to share with you guys that this is not the time, I believe, if you're a follower of Christ, this is not the time to get yourself bogged down with worldly things. But I believe we all need to be saying, okay, what is it that you want me to do? Because time is short. Things are happening fast. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. When I said that in another video, I had a lot come back going, absolutely. Other people that are feeling that, seeing that too. And that things happen so much faster now than they used to. When there's a change, we usually like, okay, well, that'll be in a couple of years or 5 years. They're planning the change for 10 years down the road. And now that change may be today. Okay, this is being changed effective immediately. There's more and more of that kind of thing going on. So we're worried about a lot of things that I believe this time next year, they're not even going to be issues anymore, because so much will have changed. I'm trying to encourage myself and encourage you that whatever God's told us to do, we need to prioritize it, we need to do it, and we need to make ourselves available so that when those unexpected things happen, we're not in a rush and got to go and going to miss it. God has perfect timing. I believe that. But we've got to do our part to be available for his perfect timing. Hope that makes some sense to somebody, because I feel like it's for me to hear that and somebody else needs to hear that too. So I do believe this is a time, I think I did a whole video on this before, on that it is a time that we need to be simplifying things in our lives, and we need to be flexible, because you may think you're going one direction and God's going to turn you around and say, no, you need to go this other direction. And there may not be a lot of notice. So the world is changing. It's becoming a one world situation. And if you read your Bible, you know that when it moves into a one world situation, we are very near the return of Christ. I'm not talking about the rapture. I'm talking about the return of Christ. One thing this guy, that we talked to yesterday said about, he liked Jesus because he didn't come in, he came in very humble and sweet and loving and everything. He didn't come in as a warrior. And he didn't. He didn't come to, John 3:17, he didn't come to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He didn't come to cast judgment, but he came to bring salvation. When he came as, a baby in the manger and grew up and lived and ministered and was crucified, died, and rose again 3 days later out of that grave to ascend to heaven to be at the right hand of the Father. Okay, that was the peaceful one. And even then we see him, go in and cast the money changers out of the temple and all. But that was the peaceful one. He's coming back, but this time it's to set up his kingdom. And he will not come back in this quiet little manner. Oh, he will come back, not just as a warrior, but as king. And he will take his rightful place. So he will come in power and might and glory. And I believe that it's already beginning to happen. I believe that things are already being staged and put in position in the heavenlies. And I believe that some of these things that are going to be poured out on us are already beginning to trickle down and be poured out. I don't think they're really poured out yet, because the numbers of people affected are much greater in the Bible than what we're seeing, or at least being told at this time. But I do believe it's happening. I do believe that there's a lot of things that are tests for us, meant to strengthen us so that we can learn to say no, even if everybody else wants us to say yes, because we're doing what God told us to do. Don't just do things because they say you're supposed to do this and it's good for you, or it's, it's the right thing to do, or we're just going to make this change. You pray about it and you ask the Lord what you should do. We had a situation back a few years ago when we were all told we were supposed to go do something. And I was very disappointed in some of the pastors that I knew that got up and told their congregation, just go do it, because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what the government wants us to do. That's what they say is right, and it's going to be good for us. And some people very near to me, who I love dearly, they did it because they were told to do it, and they have paid a huge price for that. I didn't do it. I stood up, and because I asked the Lord before it even happened, because I knew it was going to happen. So what am I supposed to do? And I have followed what he said. And even at the point of people being angry, not wanting me around anymore or whatever. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous how big of a deal it became. But I understand, for me, that was a test, the kind of test that is there to make you stronger. So as I faced the test and did what God told me to do, I believe it's made me stronger, so that when things come at a higher price and I'm told to do it and I know I'm not supposed to, that it will not be difficult like maybe it could be, that I will not buckle and do something I'm not supposed to do. I've done enough things in life that I wasn't supposed to do and shouldn't have done, and I paid price for it every time. I don't want to do that anymore. I am a person who, yeah, I do worry. You know, I have worried so much in my life what other people thought about me. I have done things just so people wouldn't think bad of me. But no more. You know, I've been insecure in the past and done things just trying to win people's approval or them to like me or love me or want me or whatever. And honestly, that whole part, it seems like it has died in me. I really don't care. Not like I used to. And it's now I want to do the right thing. And even when I talk to somebody about the Lord and I know they think that that's stupid or whatever, I don't really care that they think it's stupid. I'm going to say what I feel the Lord's told me to say, and I'm going to love them, and I'm going to pray, and God do whatever he needs to do with, you know, whatever he desires to do with whatever was said. I'm just going to do my part. You know, I don't have to be the one that's going to close the deal. This man that we talked to yesterday, I believe he's on a journey to salvation. I believe he's on the way to a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. I know there are some people that watch this channel that you haven't made a commitment to Jesus Christ, and you know, and I've talked to some of you about it, but yet there's a draw there, and I've had some of you say, I haven't yet, but I do believe I will, and I'm always like, don't wait too long, but you know, there are some that the whole reason you watch this channel is because, you know, you're trying to figure it out. And there is that draw to Jesus. You just haven't come to the point of making that commitment yet of giving your life to him. And a lot of times it's because you're afraid of what you'll have to give up. Oh, trust me, whatever you have to give up is nothing in comparison to what you gain. So you cannot lose with Jesus. You can't. So anyway, I used to be a person that felt like I had to close the deal. I felt so driven about so many things and so insecure about so many things and so foolish about so many things. But now it's changed, and at all cost, I want Jesus, and I want to do what he tells me to do. And I don't want to do things anymore because somebody told me to, but I want to do what he's telling me to do. I want to be obedient to him. And so I know that there's some things I've taken on in my life that really aren't important in the big picture. They really aren't serving that great a purpose. And they're things that I need to cut back on or just remove all the way out. There are things that really, I think it's a waste of time more than anything. And I'm not, you know, I've had some people ask me to do some things lately, and normally I would have just said yes. And I'm like, I need to pray about it. And I need to know what God wants me to do. And if that upsets them, then that upsets them. But I need to know, because I don't need to take on anything that he's not telling me to take on. So I know that I believe that in my future, in Marvin's in my future, that there is some more responsibility that's going to be laid in front of us, some things that are going to be changing in our lives, some things that we're going to be called on by God to take care of. And I think God even possibly confirmed one of those things a little bit today. But even then, Marvin's like, I wonder why, you know, because we got to hear from the Lord. But with that, I also believe that God is sending help. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know what it looks like. I just have this peace. But I know that if I'm trying to pursue something on my own, I'm on my own. And so I just want to pursue what God's got in front of me. So I just want to share that with you guys today. I want you to, you know, some of you probably are feeling those things in your own life that maybe you're feeling exhausted because you're having to do more than you can handle, or you're overwhelmed. That's me. I get overwhelmed. That maybe, I don't know, maybe you're exhausted. I didn't do a video the last couple of days. On average, I figure, I don't remember if I said this or not. See, because I need sleep. But on average, it takes about 2 hours out of my day to do a video. Not a problem. But that's 2 hours that I used to have to do other stuff. And I am starting to see where that other stuff is starting to collect. collect up, and yeah, and starting to build into a little mountain. And so I've got to figure it out. And the last 2 days, the Lord did not give me anything to make a video on. And I had to struggle with this false sense of guilt that I needed to have a video. And then it's like, okay. And in that 2 days, he allowed me to get some sleep I wasn't getting and to take care of a few things that needed to be taken care of. And I've just, I need to find out from him, follow his lead on how to balance all these things. And so that's why I just want to do what he's telling me to do, because I don't want to fail. I've failed enough. I don't want to fail anymore. All right. I love you guys. And with that, because this video is plenty long enough, and I need to get a run on because I got kids coming to dinner and I need to go make some sweet tea. So it'll be ready, because got to have sweet tea tonight with our hamburgers and french fries and something else. I don't know. We'll have some other. Oh, yeah, I've got some macaroni salad. Ooh, it's going to be a good dinner tonight. All right. Be jealous. No. Or just come on over and we'll feed you too. There's always room for one more. All right. I love you guys, and I may or may not talk to you tomorrow. We'll see what God gives me, but I will be talking to you. All right. I love you. You have an awesome day. Oh, yeah. Which button do I push? I'll talk to you later.